Look at this empty plateau. No pyramids, no Cairo, just desert, river, and sky. In a few seconds, this silence becomes one of the most recognizable places on Earth. The story begins with surveyors marking the bedrock, not with mystery, but with planning. Quarrymen cut limestone from the plateau. Sledges drag blocks across wet ground. The first stone courses lock into place, low at first, almost modest. Then, the ramps rise, and the desert begins to change shape. Human hands are turning a natural horizon into a monument. Around the worksite, an entire city appears. Bakeries, storage yards, workshops, and crews trained for a project that will outlive every one of them. These are organized workers, not the old Hollywood myth of chained slaves. White limestone seals the surface, and Giza is not born as a ruin. It is born blinding. Khufu's pyramid is finished first, an artificial mountain beside the Nile. Then Khafre builds beside it, carefully using the higher ground to command the skyline. The living bedrock reveals the Sphinx. Menkaure adds the third pyramid. Temples, causeways, noble tombs, workshops, and processional roads complete a sacred landscape that will survive almost every empire that follows. Power shifts toward the river. Upstream, Memphis runs the kingdom through scribes, docks, fields, and roads that still point back to Giza. Centuries pass, and even Egyptians begin to treat the Sphinx and pyramids as ancient wonders, monuments from a deeper past inside their own past. Priests restore them. Pilgrims visit them. Greek rulers arrive and fold the old monuments into a new Mediterranean world. Then, Rome takes Egypt. A fortress called Babylon controls the Nile crossings, and inside those Roman walls, Christian Egypt takes root. Churches, workshops, and Coptic communities prepare the ground for the city that will one day become Cairo. In 641, a military camp becomes Fustat, Egypt's first great Islamic capital. The Mosque of Amr rises in mud brick and palm trunks while markets crowd around it. This is not yet the Cairo of postcards, but the urban seed is here. Streets, trade, faith, and the river. On Rhoda Island, the Nilometer measures the flood because in Egypt, the Nile decides everything. Taxes, harvests, hunger, and survival. Ibn Tulun's mosque expands the city's ambition with vast courtyards and a new architectural confidence. Then in 969, the Fatimids build al-Qahira, the victorious, a walled capital of palaces, ceremony, power, and learning. But Cairo's story is not only growth. In 1168, Fustat burns rather than fall to Crusader forces. Smoke rises over the old city, and defense leaves a scar that changes the urban map. Saladin answers with stone, building the Citadel on the hill, so Cairo can be watched, governed, and protected from above. Later, Mamluk engineers lift Nile water toward that fortress through a vast aqueduct. Below it, Al-Mu'izz fills with madrasas, markets, caravanserais, lamps, spices, and stone. Cairo becomes dense, wealthy, and unmistakably itself. Then the plague arrives. In 1348, the markets fall silent, and the city slows under the Black Death. Streets that carried trade now carry fear. But Cairo does what it has done again and again. It gathers itself. Lamps return beneath Mamluk arches. Spice caravans return. Workshops reopen. In 1517, Ottoman power takes Egypt. New flags, new sultans. But the city's daily life continues inward through shaded courtyards, fountains, latticed windows, and quiet streets. In 1798, Napoleon arrives with soldiers and scholars, determined to measure Egypt and place it inside a modern European map. Cairo answers with revolt, barricades near Al-Qahira, gunfire in narrow streets, cannon echoing through the city. The pyramids are studied by science while the capital resists occupation. In the 19th century, Muhammad Ali crowns the Citadel with a vast mosque, while engineers north of Cairo try to discipline the Nile itself with gates, iron, and stone. Then Khedive Ismail dreams of a Paris on the Nile, building boulevards, theaters, gaslight, and tramways. The dream is expensive. The debt comes due. In 1882, British troops march in, and modernization becomes tied to colonial power.